Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina and welcome to my crafting corner. If you're new here, welcome. This is where I talk about all sorts of crafts. Mostly on this channel has just been cross stitching, but in the future I'm planning to do videos about my crochet business and all that stuff as well. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I have a very exciting video today. I recently found a new to me company for stamped cross stitch. It's Painting Fairy, and I will have all of the links down below to their website. I'll have my coupon code, all kinds of things. And I was really curious to see how this was going to turn out, and I can say that I am very pleased with the quality and all that stuff. So let's jump in and I'll show you what I got. And not even going to lie, I did start one of them just because I couldn't wait. But I will show you. So everything came very neatly packed in this box. Not so neatly packed anymore because, like I said, I was impatient. But let's see what I got. Let's see. Each kit does come in their own like plastic sleeve, which is great. And I'll just show you the one that I've started. And it's this one. I just thought that was so adorable. If you know me, I love Disney. So when I saw this, I was like, that is way too cute. I need to get it. And it is a 14 count. Excuse me. It only has 24 colors throughout the whole thing, which is really great. All of the characters are stitched onto one fabric, so with the spaces in between the characters and above and below them, ends up being 315 stitches wide by 55 stitches high, which is really great. And let me show you guys this. So there is the color codes and everything. They do use Egyptian cotton. They have their own Egyptian cotton threads that they use. And then if you open to the next page, that's where you start seeing the pattern. Just as a reference in case you happen to get your fabric wet, because then the ink will kind of start to wash off and you won't be able to see it very well. So you have this as a backup. But let me show you this. There is a little bit of a thread and a needle hanging from it. Because like I said, I was working on this and I almost got Pluto finished, but look at how cute he is. Let me just give you an overview of everything. You've got your codes on the side. And look at these borders. I don't even know how big these borders are. I'd say at least almost like 3 inches. And everything is serged around, which is super great. And the printing quality is so clear. I haven't had any issues with reading any of the symbols. And then look at how cute he is turning out. I just have to finish his black border around his legs and his tail. And then he will be done. But it is so, so cute. All right, and then, sorry, I am so out of breath. Ugh, but let me show you these colors. Like I said, there are 24 colors. So you've got, woo, drop the fabric. It's got greens, blues, and pinks, white, and lots of yellows, on this side. And then lots of black, because black is used obviously for the outline of all of the characters, and then for like Mickey and Minnie, like their whole top of their head with their ears and everything. But I am super excited. I love how that one is turning out. Let's see. What is in here? Oh yeah, so this just gives like a brief description on like the fact that they use Egyptian cotton, all that stuff. And then on the back side, it does have the washing instructions to be able to wash away the printing on the fabric, which is really great. Also has a pamphlet with lots of information about their Egyptian cotton. Gives a little details on like how it's made, all that stuff. And then they give more information on like their fabric, their threads, all that stuff. And then they even gave me a little sample of one of the threads, and this one is DMC number 5, because I do coincide with the DMC numbers. So like black is 310 and so on and so forth. That one is just the most known one. All right, let's see. We will get into this bag next. I did pick out a couple of these goodies myself, so let me show you those real quick. So I picked this out. I thought this was really pretty. It's actually a, you unscrew this and then you can put your needles in there, which is really great because I'm kind of bad at losing everything. So I'm like, I need something to hold my needles. And then another thing I had picked out, it's a water-soluble pen. Unfortunately, it did like leak a little bit though, but I think if I just, you know, take a paper towel and wipe it, it should be all good to go. But it's a nice point to it. And like I said, it is water-soluble, so it should, you know, wash off of your fabric. But, you know, they always recommend doing a little test on an extra piece of fabric or like the corner of your fabric that you're not using, just to make sure. So those I did pick out to add to my my order. And then the rest of these goodies are part of your like toolkit. They don't give one separate for each kit that you get. They just give one big goodie bag with all of your tools and stuff. So I got, let me grab them. I got 3 of these, and they're pink, which is really pretty. These are bobbins. If you like to do the parking method when you're cross-stitching and you have the hanging threads and stuff, you can wrap your threads around this, and then you just pop this closed and it holds them there so that they don't start to unravel or anything, which is really cool. So you get 3 of those. You get 3 little finger protectors. Just to, you know, help your fingers get protected from the needles while you're cross-stitching, especially if you like to help push the needle out in certain positions. When you're cross-stitching, these are great to have. Came with a pair of scissors, which is awesome because I'm always needing more scissors. They're very heavy duty. They come with a little protector at the end. They look really sharp too, so definitely be careful. But they're very heavy duty. They don't feel very light or cheap or anything like that, which I love. Love a good sturdy pair of scissors. we're going to carefully put the cover back on, because like I said, they look sharp. I'm not trying to hurt myself. And then lastly, a pack of needles. How many needles came in this? I took one out to use for the Disney. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8. All right, so there's 8 needles, and it says that they're a size 26 needle. Sorry, the glare is really bad. There's a window right in front of me. But yeah, so I got 8 of those. And they all came in this super cute little bag. All right, now let's get on to the other kits, which I am super excited about. I believe I got 18 count for both of these. We will double check as we open them. But comes in like a plastic folder with a little snap to secure it. This is the first image. It is Wolf Head is the name of it, and just look at that, it's so pretty. It's very monochrome, unfortunately, but that's okay. All right, so let's look at the booklet first. All right, let's show you that again real quick, and then open up to the first page, and it has all of the colors. Is this the only page? Yes, okay, so this is the only page with the color key. And if you can see on the bottom, the last 5 colors, they have 2 different numbers on them. That's because those are blends. So because this is an 18 count, you would use 2 threads to stitch this. So for those 5 symbols, you would use 1 thread of one color and 1 thread of the other color. But there are 31 regular colors and then 5 blends. And then if you get into the next page of the booklet, that's where you start your pattern. Ooh, you could see the wolf head. I love that. But the printing on the pattern booklet is so clear also. You can read everything. Colors are printed really great, so I love that. Let's look at, the threads are tied together with ribbon. Yeah, let's look at these. So this is the second color card. So it just has the last 2 full colors on there. White and then like a very light blue. And then this is the first card. And they do label them with the DMC numbers. These colors are so pretty. Like I said, it's a very monochrome painting, but it looks so good. So I'm super excited about that one. And I don't think I've ever had a cross stitch kit that has any threads, or done a cross stitch that has any blended threads, so that'll be interesting. It's not a very large piece, which is nice. And like I said, it is 18 count. It is 200 stitches wide by 200 high, but that is including all of the white around it as like the margins, because this part in the middle goes all the way to the bottom, but nothing else around here does. And only the wolf head and everything in between is stitched. None of that background is. It's completely serged around. Like I said, at least 2-inch margins. You have your color code stamped on the side there, and the stamping is so clear. It's 18 count, so it is pretty small, but it is not difficult to read at all, which I love. So I am super excited about this one. Again, there's the full look. I'm excited. All right. And then this one did come with the plastic cards for the threads. I'll have to check with the other one as we open it, but I think the other ones were just like a thick paper / cardboard. I think it just depends on the price of the kit. Like the higher the price, then they will give you the plastic ones because they're sturdier, they hold up better and all that, but we will see. Oh yeah, they are like cardboard. All right. And then the last one that I got, the Eye of the Dragons. I can't even pronounce that. But look at that. I grabbed this one because I loved all of the colors in it. So, so pretty. All right, let's take a look. So on the first page, what they've done is they have joined like symbols together. So like this one, for example, there's 2 in that color, number 2 printed in that color. This one's plus sign in multiple different colors. And they've kind of joined them like that so that you can see the difference between all of them, which is really great. And then the next page is when you get into the full list in numerical order. So this one has a total of 78 different symbols, but 1 through 64 are just one color, and then 65 through 78 are blends. And this is 18 count also. So it shows you a 1 in parentheses, so you'll have 1 thread of one color and 1 thread of the other to do this symbol. You'll need those 2 colors. So yeah. And then the next page of the booklet starts the pattern. And this one is very confetti heavy. But that's how you get the beautiful rainbow, is with the confetti. So let's take a look at what else is in here. Let's take a look at these threads. Oh, okay, so that that thread sample that I got said it was 05. I think I'm mistaken, and that's actually like their own number, because at the start of the floss cards starts with number 9. It wouldn't be 09. And then on this last one, it has 01. So that's really interesting. But also all tied together with a ribbon. There are 3 different cards, 2 full ones, and then one that is a little more than halfway full. So I'll try to show you guys these colors. A lot of like muted colors, but they're like kind of like jewel tones, and just even though they're muted, they're still very saturated in their color, which is lovely. Nothing dull about these threads or anything, which is great. Look at all this black. Gotta love all the black. And then those ones, all the tans. All right. And then let's pull out this canvas. Again, it's not a huge piece, thankfully. It is 210 stitches wide by 210 high, 18 count, and again, huge border around all the edges, completely serged around, so there's no fraying. Look at that confetti though. Oh goodness, so much confetti. But this one's going to be so pretty, and even though it is heavy on the confetti, that printing is so clear. That is so crazy. Like, I can clearly see that that is a 2, or that that is a 7 or a T. Like, it's so great. Such great quality. I love it. And I wanted to get an 18 count so that it's not incredibly huge, and I do really like working with 2 threads, so because I like doing the loop start method. So yeah, that is so much confetti, but I am so excited to see progress on this one. Fuzzy. But yeah, and then it just comes in one of these plastic sleeves with the snap on it to help keep it closed, which is great because it helps keep everything together. And yeah, so I wanted to thank Painting Fairy so much for sending this stuff to me to show you guys. Like I said, this is a new to me company that I recently found, and I can say I am very pleased with the quality. When I was working on that Disney kit, I was blown away with how clear all the symbols were, how easy it is to stitch on, all of that stuff. So definitely go check them out. Like I said, I will have the link to their website down below, as well as the link to all of the items that I showed today. And then I will also have my coupon code, which gives you, I believe it's 5% off your order. And I mean, it did come from China, but it got here in like a week and a half, I think. So really quick shipping. I think it shipped out like next day after I ordered, all that stuff. So super great. Definitely recommend. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, for hanging out with me. I know it has been so long since I have made a video, and I'm hoping to be back soon. Life has just been so crazy. Have been really focusing on my crochet small business. If you don't know, I make crochet items, mostly plushies, and I've been selling them at craft shows. I have them in a physical store near me, all of that stuff. So life's been kind of chaotic, but I will leave information about that part of my life down below, like my my website, all of that stuff. So definitely go check that out as well. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.